Kill him. Kill him now. Do it.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another movie review. Today we watched Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith. And this one, to me, is probably one of my favorite Star Wars movies. Honestly, and that's mostly because I think this was the first Star Wars I got to see in theaters as a kid, you know? Like, it came out in 2005, I was 6. I think I was like a mature little kid because my mom showed me these type of movies young. And I was definitely a movie kid, you know, growing up because I had a February birthday. So growing up in Massachusetts, all those snowy birthdays, there's not really much you can do besides going to like Jump On In. Shout out to those people that know what that is, like a little trampoline park. Or, you know, go to the movies and go check out what's in the theaters at that time. But I specifically remember seeing this one in theaters, and it really is probably what imprinted Star Wars onto me and what I really loved about Star Wars growing up, you know, like, because I was a prequels kid, you know, I didn't grow up necessarily with the original trilogy, I grew up with this trilogy, and then by the time Force Awakens came around, I think I saw Force Awakens with my buddies like 2 or 3 times in theaters. Like, we loved it just because we were like adults now, and we're like, oh shit, we can go see Star Wars in theaters again, like, literally, it's been since 2005 since there was a Star Wars movie. So, like, I'm so excited now with Disney Plus, with Mandalorian, you know, with Andor, with Ahsoka coming up, how they're spreading the Star Wars galaxy, and it's not just these movies about Palpatine. It's, you know, spreading into now a new villain and like a new arc of the heroes that are going to have to fight this main villain. But the whole Star Wars universe, man, is wonderful. But this, out of the original prequel trilogy, or not the original trilogy, out of the prequel trilogy, this one was definitely my favorite. I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars, but we're going to also break this one down to all my favorite lines and favorite things from this movie. You know, of course, it starts right out the gate with, "This is where the fun begins."
This is where the fun begins.
You know, and like, just that little line read by Hayden Christensen, so great. Then you're on the main ship. They like land onto Grievous's ship, and they like take out droids as he lands. Obi-Wan hops out, pew pew, you know, like this one starts out right hot out at the gates, you know what I mean? Like, this one has the action right up front. That whole like one take flying sequence at the beginning is great. Like, it draws you in immediately, and then by the time you get upstairs and you see Count Dooku and they have captured Chancellor Palpatine, I would love to know how that happened, how they got him captured. I'm pretty sure they tell you all about that in the Clone Wars animated TV show, but it's been a long time since I've seen that, so I'll have to go back and check that out. But, you know, then we get Obi-Wan gets knocked out. We get this great line from Palpatine, "Do it," you know? Like, poor Count Dooku's head gets lopped off, and you could actually see it, like, in the little clip. It's real quick, but his body kind of slumps over, and right before his body slumps over, you just see like this little bowling ball of his head hit the ground and bounce away. But do it.
Good, Anakin, good. Kill him. Kill him now.
I shouldn't.
Do it.
It's such a great clip. And then they have to land that plane, the ship. It's massive. It splits in half, and even if it splits in half, it's still massive, the front half. And just like the line reads that Obi-Wan Kenobi gets in this, Ewan McGregor gets in this movie, are so great. Another happy landing.
Something. Not to worry, we are still flying half a ship. Another happy landing.
You know, like, all movie he's getting great line reads, but that whole ship sequence, landing the ship, I always loved that one shot of them like wide, and it's like landing, and you see them, they jolt forward, and then all of a sudden it comes to like a screeching halt, and you see them in the like it goes from outside the ship into the cockpit, and then like you see the whole thing come to a stop, and then you get the Another happy landing.
Another happy landing.
And then later, you know, Obi-Wan fights General Grievous, and that whole fight's badass, but of course it starts with the greatest line read ever. Hello there.
Hello there.
You know, like the Alec Guinness, hello there, General Kenobi.
General Kenobi.
You know, I always have thought that General Grievous severely underused. He was so badass. He's such a great character, and just like his reveal of his you know, his troops is great, but then him being like, I'll deal with this Jedi scum myself.
Back away. I will deal with this Jedi slime myself.
Kips off his cloak, brings out 4 arms, then all of a sudden it's, you know, like he does that spin and shit, and just like the sound design of that is amazing. Like the sparks flying, like this for 2005, it still looks fucking great. Like, oh man, General Grievous Obi-Wan fight. You have to know you are doomed. You know, you get the eyeballs from General Grievous.
You are doomed.
Oh, I don't think so.
And then I love that, you know, Obi-Wan pushes him away, and then he gets like, he does this like crawling thing, which they must have took that specific scene and made for the Battlefront 2 video game, where it's one of his like attacks. He crawls towards people and runs them over. But I love that he got in this wheel. It's like this wheel cart, like car with legs, right? So it's like, I don't know how they designed the ship, but I remember having this toy as a kid. I had all the toys from this movie, I think, growing up, 6 and 7 years old, right? Like, when this movie came out, I had the lightsabers, I had, you know, the cloak, I had... Did I have a cloak? I don't know. But I want to say I had, like, the whole costume. I had, you know, action figures. I had Grievous, where he could put out his 4 arms. He had a cloak. I had a little Obi-Wan with a cloak. I had this little specific thing that I'm talking about, this little cart thing. And like, it was a terrible toy, but a good concept, at least, good idea for like a moving vehicle in this Star Wars world. But I love that he's like just cruising around, and he just like General Grievous just hits a bunch of people, but Obi-Wan hops on this lizard thing. I always liked how it sounded, the wah, wah, like it's like squawks, but it like has this great like sound design for these creatures. He hops on it, he starts rolling, but I love right at the end of this clip, Grievous just like wipes out a bunch of dudes, and you just hear them like, ah, you know, like just, fuck, you hit me, you know. But then we get, you know, the real fight. Obi-Wan doesn't have a lightsaber because he dropped it. Grievous kind of like is showing his muscle, his strength, because he's practically made out of metal and parts. Like you can see only for a quick second here when Obi-Wan pries open the chest of Grievous. You know, you can see his insides, and Grievous doesn't like that. Gives like a, you know, like the noises that through this like whole little sequence are great. Like I always loved him as a kid, but watching him as an adult, I still loved it. I was like, wow, so great. You know, Grievous stomps, you hear the big metal clangs, and then Obi-Wan kicks his leg, but it's made out of metal, so he's just like, ah! He's like, my leg, you know? And then fucking Grievous yosses him off the edge, and then finally, Obi-Wan force pulls a blaster to him, and since his chest cavity was just pried open, he gets a shot into there, he starts setting it on fire, he gets 2 or 3, maybe 4 shots into the chest again, then they get this great shot of his eyeballs are burning, everything's burning up, and then poof,
So uncivilized.
he blows up his head. Like, solid death, right? Like, it's a pretty badass death, but, you know, pretty badass kill for Obi-Wan. But, I don't know, man. Darth Maul, General Grievous, 2 characters that I was like, man, they should have been way bigger characters. We should have got, like, I've always wondered, how did Grievous get into this body? I know there's comics and stuff about it, but, like, I want to see it. I'm a visual learner, baby. But if you know the comic books, if there's stuff out there about General Grievous, please send those to me in the comment section below. I would really love that. But then we get Order 66.
Execute Order 66.
And, you know, Anakin's got this great, you know, the bum 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 bum, you know, as he walks into kill a bunch of folks. But Obi-Wan pulls up on goddamn Commander Cody. I will never forgive Commander Cody. Gives him back his lightsaber. He's like on his team. And then 1.5 seconds later, friggin' Palpatine shows up. Execute Order 66. Yes, sir. And then he fires at Obi-Wan and this poor lizard thing that he's riding. And then you get the, heartbreaking, like, wah, wah, as this thing falls and they just plummet into the water, like... Oh, man. And then, of course, you cut back to Anakin with the poor younglings.
There are too many of them. What are we going to do?
Master Anakin, what do we do? It scares the bejeebus out of the kid. Oh, man. And then he just smites down. I wanted to see the rated R cut. I want to see Anakin just lopping off little youngling heads. But Anakin, oh, God. Right, so then we get the, you know, Anakin finds, or Obi-Wan finds out all about Anakin. I didn't pull any clips from it, but I do want to acknowledge that the Yoda on Kashyyyk with the Wookiees, all that stuff looked great too. I mean, Kashyyyk alone looks fucking awesome. The Wookiees are great characters. Like I said in a previous video, though, I wish the Wookiees had like subtitles or something so you could know what they're saying. But I understand it's like I Am Groot. You kind of just fill in with your imagination what you think they're saying. But, you know, Chewbacca, you get Tarful, and then Yoda gets that badass fucking 2 troopers coming behind him to execute Order 66, and Yoda just lops off 2 heads real quick. Oh, man. But then Yoda's fight with Palpatine is great. Like, oh, man. It's just some good shit, man. It's just all around good shit. Such an entertaining movie. And then you get, like, the... Obi-Wan heads to Mustafar afterwards, and he, you know, meets up with now Anakin fully plummeting into the darkness, and he's like, "You turn her against me! Anakin, my allegiance is to the Republic, to democracy!"
Your new empire? Don't make me kill you. Anakin, my allegiance is to the Republic, to democracy! If you're not with me, then you're my enemy. Only a Sith deals in absolutes.
You know, like that whole line read by like every part of Obi-Wan and Ewan McGregor's line reads in this movie are fantastic. Like, he got all the best lines. He really did. Anakin, Chancellor Palpatine is evil. You know, from my point of view, the Jedi are evil.
Palpatine is evil! From my point of view, the Jedi are evil! Well, then you are lost! This is the end for you, my master.
You know, like, oh my god, and then he finally gets the, "It's over, Anakin, I have the high ground. Don't try it."
It's over, Anakin! I have the high ground! You underestimate my power! Don't try it!
You know, like, oh god, and then it's heartbreaking. He has to leave his poor friend on the ground, just burning alive. You were the chosen one! You were sent to destroy the Sith, not join him! You were bring balance to the Force, not leave it to darkness!
You were the chosen one! It was said that you would destroy the Sith, not join them! Bring balance to the Force, not leave it in darkness!
You know, like he's so sad. Obi-Wan was so sad. But somehow Anakin, no legs, gets his legs lopped off. He's already got a metal arm. I think maybe the other arm got chopped off somehow in that process too, because now he's got 2 metal arms, 2 metal legs. He's got breathing apparatus. He's got to be in this whole suit to breathe and be alive still. But of course, then we cut to the end, the beautiful ending of this movie, where you see he's getting put together piece by piece. And I always thought it was interesting, this one part where they're lowering the helmet down, and to see out the helmet what Darth Vader sees, and you see like this white light, but then all of a sudden it like comes down and it's this red, right? And it almost looks like, you know, you can see his burnt face tucked into this thing. Is like the bottom of the helmet's all the way up here, and then the top kind of just seals it in. But the red like glow in the eyeball of the like the of the helmet of Darth Vader almost looks like the technology in like Tony Stark's AI helmet, you know, like where you can see like things move around, like with your eyeballs you can select things. I don't know, but for 2005 I thought that was a great detail. Throw in some lights with like a tracking thing inside like his helmet, like so maybe there's more technology in there that we know. Then you get that great seal and the and you get the breath like. It just, oh, the sound design, baby, in this movie is so good. But like that whole Order 66 sequence is so heartbreaking. Plo Koon, oh, right? Like I never realized it was Plo Koon. I recognized the character, but like I never knew who Plo Koon was, why Ahsoka loved him. You know, like after seeing those shows and then going back and watching this stuff and seeing all those Jedi die in Order 66, terrible. But you get this great helmet sealing, the first breath. And then, you know, he slowly rises up, my master. And then he, oh no, Padme, I felt her. She was alive.
Where is Padme? Is she safe? Is she all right?
It seems in your anger, you killed her.
I couldn't have. She was alive. I felt it.
Apparently with your strength you have killed her. No, no, it couldn't be. And then he starts crushing blood bags, crushing pipes, crushing robots, like all over this place. Things just start falling apart, so you can just sense how much power Darth Vader has. He busts out of the wrist clamps, because now he's strong, he's mostly metal parts. And then he takes these big, heavy, boom, boom steps. But then, right, like this whole part up to this line, I really loved. As a kid, I was like, whoa, like, first time really seeing Darth Vader suit up and get put into his suit. And then all of a sudden, at the end, they have this terrible line. It's just like so anticlimactic. It's like, all right, like he could have said nothing, and then you just have a nice tight pull in, and then maybe even, where's Obi-Wan? And then it cuts, right? And you just see Darth Vader's anger, and he remembers who did this to him, Obi-Wan Kenobi. But instead we get no. It cracks me up, it really does. But you see that little grin from Palpatine. No. So he's got, his plan has worked, and Palpatine's been the orchestrator, the conductor this whole time. But he's a little scumbag. Screw Palpatine. But comment below, what's your favorite line from Revenge of the Sith? I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hit my links down in the description below. I'm on TikTok now at BigCam12. BigCam12 is my Instagram as well. But I have a podcast called Comically Boston. I do every Monday. So there's an Instagram under that, Comically Boston on Instagram. I also have Letterboxd. For all my movie reviews, you can go check that out over there. Link down in the description below. Hit me up on Twitter at BigCamYouTube. And I will see you guys in the next video. Please comment below movie recommendations. And I'm going to be carrying on my Star Wars rewatch, my Marvel rewatch. And Ahsoka's right around the corner, so I'm excited for that. Can't wait to talk about that show and do after shows and talk all the details and things that we see in that. But comment below, what is your favorite part from Revenge of the Sith? And I'm looking forward to hearing you guys. And I'll see all of you in the next video. Peace.